What is up, metalheads? What is up? It is Heavy Metal Pokemon here, bringing you our week 9 of the IBL. That's the International Battling League. Today we're taking on Joe and his Chester Chinchous. You might remember Joe from recaps last season. We brought him on as a coach. So happy to have him here. Joe is 0-8, I believe, right now. And we're sitting at a nice 3-5, I believe. And we're hoping to turn this, or 3-5, 4 I don't remember what our stuff is. 3-4 is what we are after last week's loss to what's his name? Austin. So, anyways, so here we go. We're battling Joe. We need a win here. A win here would put us, 4-4, really good. Really kind of take a lot of pressure off because we could take a chance and lose a game coming up. But right now, winning out is needed. So if we can win here, we're in the clear because then we have Crest next week, and then we have a really tough schedule afterwards. We face Jacob. As always, we face Josh and his New York Metagross. So we have a really tough end of the season. I believe we face Tone as well. So or Techno. So we have a lot. We have a very uphill end of the season. Our race is very tight in that last spot. So a win here is much needed for us. So we're bringing Alolan Persian, Claydol, Arcanine, Mega Aggron, Tapu Koko, and Zygarde. Looking back, maybe Aluchu might have been a good bring, but that Intimidate on what's the thing over there just made it really difficult because he could have put me in a really bad spot a couple of times, and then if I stayed in and tried to Swords Dance, So, but let's get right into the match. I believe I lead off with the Alolan Persian. He's going to lead off with Sandslash. His team is Sandslash, regular Blaziken, Malamar, Manaphy, Vileplume, and the Mega Manectric. So I figured I'd lead off with this. The Alolan Persian lets me knock off an item, lets me get a U-turn going so I can go into like Tapu Koko or something else. So that was my big thought. I didn't bring Taunt, which was kind of annoying. I brought Parting Shot, U-turn, knock off, Foul Play, I believe. I probably should have brought the Taunt over the Foul Play because taunting this thing right here turn 1 would have been nice. But I didn't have it, so I just clicked knock off. I figured he would switch to Malamar, predicting my Parting Shot, so he'd get that attack boost plus that special attack boost. So, that could have been good. But that was not the case. So here I go for the U-turn. Again, not wanting to Parting Shot. So we're going to go into Claydol here. Avoid this Earthquake. And then we can spin these away. He does go for the knockoff. That does so many damage. This thing is so strong. I believe I just go for the rapid spin here. I don't want these rocks up. Especially if I have, for Arcanine and stuff like that. So he's going to go out into the Malamar. That's perfectly fine. I believe I do just go into the Tapu Koko here. Oh, I stay in and, take this knockoff. That's perfectly fine. I go into Aggron because I assume he choiced himself in a knockoff, so he can't knock me off. I can get a free Mega Evolution, which is great. And then I can set up my own rocks or, do something. So I'm going to go ahead and Mega here. I am going to go for my own rocks here. This kind of forces him to spin, so it gives me a free turn of damage against this thing. So he's going to Earthquake, though, which is perfectly fine. We see that he outspeeds. I don't think I tried to outspeed him. Does about a quarter, a little less maybe. So we're going to go ahead and run a heavy slam here. Boop. That almost takes him out. We'll go ahead and heavy slam again. He's going to go ahead and withdraw. He does not want to lose that yet. So we're going to go out into the Manaphy. And I didn't bring much of a switch into the Manaphy. So heavy slam does a bunch. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to stay in here. He's going to go ahead and surf me. This is a Specs surf. Takes me almost down. I roared just in case he wanted to tail glow, because that seemed like a really good time to tail glow. So I really wanted to stay in for that. So he's going to superpower here. Probably my best play would have been to just go Coco here. Take minimal damage. Still have this around, but I'm not playing 100% in this match. I have all my kids around and everything, so not playing top tier, which really sucks. So I'm gonna go out into this. I'm gonna click the Dazzling Gleam. So that, you know, does stuff. See, that does that. He's gonna get his Black Sludge. He's gonna Strength Sap here. I go out into Arcanine because I'm like, oh, I'm not special. Luckily, we don't get effects board, which is nice. So I'm gonna go out into Arcanine. I'm like, I'm special. So if he wants to make me -1, it's perfectly fine. He's gonna Strength Sap. That's perfectly fine. I click Flamethrower here. So I can get all the way back up to full. That's perfectly fine. It's funny because last week we were talking about how I defeated Austin with a Vileplume, and here this thing is just kind of in my way. So he's going to go out and Sand Slash. I'm going to go for Flamethrower. That's perfectly fine. That's down. Alright, so those rocks are here to stay, which is really nice. So he's going to go out into his Manaphy. He's going to take a little bit of damage here. I believe I click a move here. He's going to surf. I'm just going to stay in. I don't want anything to take a surf. I don't want him to get... or I clicked this because I figured he would, like, Rainy Day or something like that. Or Rainy Day. I figured he would Rain Dance or something in there. So I'm like, oh, I'll put the sun up. So that was my counter here. Kind of put up the sun. Weaken the water moves. So I'm going to go into the my Persian here because I'm pretty bulky and I can take this Surf in the Sun. Still does a bunch, so we do find out that it is Specs from that damage in the Sun. And then, you know, I found this out because I clicked Knockoff here, which after seeing that, okay, there's Choice Specs. So he's going to Surf again. This should not do as much now. We're in the Sun. He doesn't have a Spec. Still does a bunch, so this Manaphy is tough. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we'll Foul Play here. It's base 100 attack, even at the minus attack nature, so that should take it out right there. And that Manaphy is gone, and we're starting to get a little bit more back here. He's going to send out the Malamar. I believe I do go for the U-turn here, but he does reveal that he is Scarf, which I kind of assumed, but again, I should have just hard switched. And then I could have, you know, made a U-turn against this thing. Probably should have just continually clicked the U-turn until that was gone. I'm really down and behind here. We've got 3 mons left. We just have the Zygarde, the Persian, and Tapu Koko. I really needed to get Zygarde in here. I just needed to click Dragon Dance, keep my +1, and then start 1,000 arrow spamming, and pretty much I can win with that. So, oh, we have Arcanine. So we're gonna go to Arcanine here. Assuming he would strength sap again, but he does just make the play. Probably should have sacked Persian here. Got the Arcanine in for free. But, you know, what can you do? So I got into Zygarde. Now, if I had sub, I would have been really set here. Because I could have subbed, and then I could have Dragon Dance. But I have the Dragon Dance here. So that way I'm back at neutral, but I'm at +1 speed, so I outspeed the thing. So he's going to Strength Sap here. That's perfectly fine. We're a neutral attack, but we're at the +1 speed, so we can outspeed the Manectric, which is what we want. So we'll just go ahead and click 1,000 Arrows here. Vileplume is a bulky monster. It does live. Goes ahead and Giga Drains. Puts me there. Gets a crit, which is on Fort. That really sucked because that'll put me in a better spot to actually come back with Tapu Koko. So we're at 1,000 Arrows again. He's going to go ahead and Giga Drain. See, again, if he didn't have that crit, he'd have been at a lower HP, and I could have actually taken it out with the Zygarde. Then he would have had to have gone Manectric to get me at -1, and then his Manectric would have to take a bunch of damage to KO me with the Hidden Power Ice. So that crit definitely hurts. So we're going to go into Tapu Koko. He should be in range for this, I believe. Not 100% sure. I believe he lives on like 3, 2, 1. I don't know. But we miss out on the KO. So we go ahead and click the Gigavolt Havoc because I have to at this point. Instead of having to save it for something else, I have to click it here because he got that stupid crit. And like I said, he lives on like 1. He'll Sludge Bomb me. That'll take me out. And that's it. So we played terrible. The crit was unfortunate in the comeback. Not really detrimental overall, but that crit did stop the comeback from happening because Tapu Koko was going to run through the rest of his team. I Dazzlingly Malamar, unless he had Poison Jab, which he could have. He could have had Poison Jab. But like I said, to beat my Zygarde, he could have done a couple of things. He could have. He might have been able to kill actually with Malamar at that point. But I think the play would have been to go Manectric to put it at the -1. Because if he didn't and he went to like Malamar and I got like a crit or something, you know, that puts it really bad. But if he's at -1, he should be able to live the 1,000 Arrows because Zygarde's pretty weak. I didn't realize also that Zygarde 10 has the same attack stat as Zygarde 90, or 90 as Zygarde 50. The Zygarde 50 just seems to hit harder. But you know, base 100 is not bad, but it just feels like it's just not enough. So that really sucks. It just feels not enough to you know, close out the games the way I was hoping he'd be able to, because I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna try him and we're gonna put him in a shell that works. And actually, I didn't draft the right shell at all. We're playing bad. We're not able to close out the games. We're making some changes. So be on the lookout for that. We're making some changes as we go on to face Crest. So I believe we're now 8-5. 3-5 going into week 9 versus Crest, and we're looking to bounce back. So we cannot afford any more losses right now. The division is super tight as it stands. So we're right on the cusp. We're at -3 differential right now because of that huge loss. Like I said, had he not got that crit, I might have been able to pull it back because I could have either taken out the Vile Plume or put him in a low spot where I could have just Thunderbolted with Tapu Koko. And, you know, been in a much better spot. I'd have been able to take on his threats a little bit better. So, I don't know. It would have put me in a better spot. I'd have had my Gigavolt Havoc still, so I could have used that on the Blaziken. I would have had, you know, I'd have been able to Dazzling Gleam the Malamar, because I could have put him in a position just played bad. So alright, so on to the next one. Be on the lookout for the trades and transactions that are coming up as well. We are revamping the team into something a little better. Hopefully we can start getting some wins going forward with the team. So, but as always, bros, keep gaming.